it up the wall. Carson Stomp. Now for Askinov. Askinov bombarded into the boards. And now a chance the other way. Rizzo taken away. It's Hansen the other direction with a low shot that's gloved in by a team that can elegantly set things up in the offensive zone. They would pull their goalie the moment they have it. Askinov with a shot on net. That's denied, and Paradas has not left his crease. No icing here. Otto, got to watch for the cross checks from Kahn. Almost retaliated at him. Here's Graham.
I think he's looking to go now.
Chipped in around the boards. Paradas creeps up. Still no pulling of the goalie, and for good reason. Here's Kahn. Now Paulo. Ramsey Paulo still looking for his first of this game. One of the top scorers on this team as a defenseman will slide it inside, and it's patted away. 80 seconds. Otto almost setting a bit of a screen there. Not really sure what's going on. It'll be played out, but back into the hands of Chicago. So we're still playing 5-on-5 hockey as Blake Adolfino will chip it in. LaPrise over the blue line. Never got there. Hodge now, as the net is now empty. Paradas goes to the bench, extra attacker out. Played in front, Hodge cannot clear the zone. Here's Mulligan from a distance, saved by Badalico. Got a bit of shoving after the whistle. Not much retaliation. Alex Hodge has some sort of grudge against Carson Stomp that I don't understand. And now Vanderweel will call the timeout. It's the only one for the Jets. Phil Bushbosher still has his if they do somehow in some way need it. But this would be suspectingly the only timeout used of this game. And the drawing board coming out for the Jets. Trying to win the weekend series against a Crush team that is atop the entire leaderboard of the USPHL League. But it's not going to come easy. 2 goals in the next 38 seconds will be needed. And from the looks of it, Paradas is still at the bench, has his helmet above his head, would not expect him to come in here. They're going to go 6 skaters off the faceoff. And the faceoff will be on the far side to the left of the netminder that has stood tall, Giovanni Badalico. Aiden Racosta will take the faceoff. They line up 2 to the left side. Other than that, everything looking pretty normal. So extra attacker out off the faceoff, and it's a crucial 1-1 by Chicago. Paulo will miss by a mile, and we'll go back into the Crush defensive end. I guess it was worth a shot for Ramsey.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I would have expected him to just try to skate it up there. I think he could have.
The defenseman trying to find his 10th goal this season. That'd be something. Empty netter or not, you got to earn it. And here we go, same spot, and Racosta wins it this time. Now it's Mulligan, can't hang on to the puck. And Jets standings.
There you go.
They win the weekend series after sacrificing just their 2nd loss of the season yesterday. But overall, Friday through Sunday, they win 2 of 3 against the visiting Jets in what is, I feel like, a playoff series to come, whether it's the semis or championship.
No, I think you're absolutely right.
It's got to happen at some point. These are 2 teams that will make the playoffs and will most likely meet up in some sort. A great fight.
And really 2 well-coached, disciplined teams, Luke. We've seen so many games at the elite level and even at the premier level. The kids kind of lose their edge, and there's a lot of unnecessary chippiness and poor sportsmanship, if I can say that.
Yeah, I always like seeing the Jets come in town They're a very disciplined team, and something I really always tend to appreciate their team bond and letting other guys like Josh Yates into this team prayer. As they'll do it at center ice, the rest of the players making their way off as we prepare for the next one between the Metro Jets development program and the Chicago Crush. 4:30 p.m. puck drop. We are on time for that. Might even start a bit early, so just check Black Bear. Might be on a tad before 4:30. But one way or another, if you're leaving us here on this Sunday, Jim Sandberg, will you leave us with any final words before we head on?
No, I was just going to say, I'm going to leave you, Luke, to do the second game by yourself.
That's all right.
And
I can do it.
I look forward to working again with you next weekend. Who
Absolutely.
do we play?
It's a great question. I have it in my calendar.
Well, I'll be
So
there.
we got Saturday, I will be there. We'll got Cougars and Crush Premier, so that'll be a fun one.
Yep.
Maltese boys going against Maltese former boys.
Yep.
And then on Sunday, we have the Fort Wayne Spacemen in town for both levels. So I will very much be ready for that one.
All right, that should be
It's
exciting.
a good old
But
rivalry.
no, I think you said it all, Luke. These two teams are going to meet again when it really matters for something.
Absolutely. Well, final score from here after an entertaining, low-scoring, defensive battling weekend between these two teams. The cherry on top for the Chicago Crush. They win this one on this Sunday afternoon, 3-1 here at the USPHL Elite level. We're going to clean the ice, then it's warm-ups, and then eventually go time for these two premier teams. But for now, Jim Sandberg alongside me. My name is Luke Jordan, signing off. A 3-1 final score. The Crush win as the Jets head back to Michigan. Safe travels to Jets fans and players and coaches. And for you folks at home, no matter the fandom you have a great rest of your Sunday. This is Luke Jordan signing off. 3-1, Chicago. We'll see you around.
Your Chicago Crush are very active on social media. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on X and Instagram. The Crush share all the behind-the-scenes coverage of the team there, so be sure to stay tuned in. Now this could only happen to a guy like me, and only happen in a town like this.
welcome inside Summit Ice Center in Lockport, under the dome, under the lights, for some Sunday afternoon USPHL premier action between the Chicago Crush and the Metro Jets development program. Logan Camp alongside Luke Jordan on the call this beautiful Sunday afternoon for some hockey. How are we doing today, Luke?
Doing great, and I'm looking forward to a matchup between two solid teams in this Midwest Division, Logan, as looks like we're just about ready to get going for the starting lineups and national anthem from Andy Stores.
Chicago Crush. Let's meet the starting lineup for this afternoon's game, beginning with the Metro Jets. Head goal, number 3, Cameron Cyrus. On the bench, number 37, Mauricio Moscovich. On the bench, number 58, Spencer Samuel. At center, number 38, Chris Kobayashi. At left wing, number 10, Blake Brackett. And at right wing, number 22, Liam Smith. The head coach of the Metro Jets Premier is Jake Howley. His associate coach is Jamie Lovell. The assistant coach is Danny Vanderlyn. Goaltending coach, Randy Wilson. And equipment manager is Paulie Sheridan. Now the starting lineups for your Chicago Crush. In goal, number 3, Brendan Kurzbell. On the bench, number 25, Addison Oscar. On the bench, number 71, Connor Edwards. Next, number 16, Cole Darling. And left wing, number 17, Ryan Brown. And right wing, number 2, Lucas Gold. The GM and head coach of your Premier Crush is Phil Bushbacker. His assistant coach is Dean Hopper. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise as you are able and kindly remove all hands as we honor America and the men and women serving our country at home and overseas. And join me, soloist Andy Stores, and organist Gary Richter in the singing and playing of the Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say can you see by the mountain behind was a lonely king, and the twilight was leading his swords and stars through the perilous night. On the ramparts we watched with so officials for this afternoon's USPHL Premier matchup as assigned by the USPHL. Our referee is C.J. Marshall. His linesmen are Marty Fillion and Ryan Wiener. The offense official is Andy Stores. The timekeeper and scorekeeper is John Buckingham.
All right, we welcome you back inside Summit Ice Center for the deciding matchup in this three-game weekend series between these two clubs. Yesterday, Luke, the Chicago Crush edged out a victory late in that third period. Owen Hartnett scored and took them ahead and brought them that win, and it was quite the barn burner on Friday ended in overtime. So should be quite the interesting matchup this afternoon.
Yeah, as between these two programs in general, Logan, they always play real tight, low-scoring games usually, and I would expect more of the same here in a great goaltending matchup.
Jets rifle that one back in behind Cameron Cyrus, or Cuspler rather, for the Chicago Crush, who got that win on Friday for the Crush. 35 saves on 37 shots for Cuspler, and gets to look again to try and take this series against the Jets.
Yeah, he's been with Fort Wayne the last couple of years, Logan. He's been down at the elite level. It's definitely a bit of a jump here up to Premier. Everything's faster. The pace is faster. The shots are faster, but he's adjusting really well so far this season.
Lynn now controls on the Crush blue line, looking for some space. Brings it in over the Jets line. Lynn still got it. Big shot goes up over the glass, off a stick, and out of play. We'll see a face-off in the Jets' end. Not even 3 minutes into this hockey game.
Yeah, the Crush adding a couple of guys from the Cougars' elite team from last year. Caleb Lynn was the leading scorer of that team, and you can tell why. He's bringing that confidence over to the Premier level, and it's a very young team, as I'll mention time and time again, for this Crush team. And yes, they do not have the best record, but they're a team that is going to simply incline as the season goes on. And it's plays like that that give you that type of hope that your young guys are stepping up.
Yeah, Caleb Lind has really been making an impact for the Crush this season. Had the OT winner on Friday, is first in assists on this Crush hockey team and first in points. So I'm sure we'll be seeing his name on the score sheet a few times this afternoon. On the far side, Dukic tries to squeak it over the Crush line. It gets sent in Jets end. On the forecheck, Martino. Crush force a turnover in front. Another shot is turned aside by Cyrus. Again, the Crush send it back down low. Levine has it taken away. Back in the neutral zone now. It's controlled by Knopfsinger. Into the zone is Watkins. From the top of the circle, his shot goes off a shin pad and behind. Bledsoe couldn't control, and now the Jets send it back in. A whistle and an icing.
Yeah, just enough for an icing there. You know, I'm the color guy per se, Logan, but I'll look forward to your insight as a current official yourself.
Yeah, my 14th year officiating, I think.
Oh my goodness.
So, no stranger to the black and white stripes, and, you know, I like to talk about them as much as I can. So,
usually on the positive side.
Always on the positive side. Behind the net is Bledsoe. Has it poked away. Now in behind, Crush still control. Large. To the point is Edwards. Snaps one on goal, and it was just wide off the end boards, and now controlled by Datura. They couldn't get it out. Large now sent it down low into the corner. Crush applying some pressure here early in period number one. Looking for a quick start. And an icing. Crush have iced it.
Yeah, you talk about that pressure, Logan. I think it's the forecheck that really is the heartbeat of how the Crush are obtaining possession right now. They're forcing some shaky breakouts and zone exits from the Jets up to this point. But now you get an icing. You keep the Crush guys out there if you're the Jets. And trying to pull this back real quick, create some sort of offensive opportunity on Kuzbel, who hasn't really been tested yet.
This three-game series is new to me. I come from a background of college hockey, and where we have two-game series throughout the weekend. So this third, I'm interested to see how that impacts the game today, and I'll look to you to provide some analysis there, but should be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'd usually describe the third game as usually the grittiest, most physical one. I mean, you see the same team 3 times in a weekend, you're not going to like everybody on the other team, but something I've noticed over time I mean, for those of you that know me, the Crush people that know I've been here for 4 years, I think, back then I don't want to be picky, but things would get too physical. You don't see that too often nowadays, and especially against a team like the Jets. They're a very disciplined program. They've always found a way to stay out of the box somehow. They're usually always at the bottom of the standings in penalty minutes, is what I'm saying. They're always near the top when it comes to wins, but you get the point. I don't expect things to get too out of hand in today's matchup.
Even still, the Crush 69% on the penalty kill, so are pretty solid on that front. Now a quick shot from the top of the circle is easily handled by Cuspel, and one of the first shots he's seen all game.
It's always kind of a nice one to get as a goalie. Just get the rhythm going. I'm not a goalie myself. I've played goalie recreationally for the fun of it. Almost feels like a warm-up after you haven't seen the puck for a little bit there.
Face-off won by the Jets, controlled by Boscovich, and his shot was sent wide. Vickers sends it up the far side wall, couldn't get it over the line, controlled by the Jets, snapped on goal from the far side face-off dot, but it was blocked, and a huge hit in the near side corner, and Crush still control. Gold sent it up over the line. In the neutral zone was Brown, who couldn't get it in. And now in his own zone, the Jets will get it started. Fournier sends it up to Smith, who's into the Crush zone. Ran into Vickers there in the far side corner. Now he's got the puck. Controlled up. And a rifled in near side. Didn't get very far, and now it's Smith skating through the neutral zone. That's one thing that I've seen the Crush do really well at already, is collapsing in that neutral zone. Not giving the Jets any time to really do anything and make any decisions when you've got 3-4 Crush players on you.
Yeah, and it's really simply the neutral zone is where that game is won. I mean, I watched the Elite game right before this one. I called it. I mean, I saw everything, and I think both teams, especially in the second period, were very scrappy in the neutral zone. There wasn't a lot of offense in that second period for good reason. That's really where you get things started. And so far, Crush have looked really composed. Not that the Jets haven't, but definitely not as well. A nice glove save there.
Another clean face-off win for Caleb Lind. We'll see a face-off in the same spot, the left wing side of Cameron Cyrus. Again, Lind won it, but it hopped right over the stick, and now Dukic sends it in. Edwards couldn't control it in his own zone. Behind the net is Boderka. Pass is intercepted and skated out by Lind. He's in over the Jets line, tries to skate right through Lejbakov, but he wasn't having any of that, and it will trickle on over to Cyrus, who will cover up. 13:42 left to go in period number one. We're all tied up.
Yeah.
0 goals aside.
Good defending by Lejbakov. I mean, Lynn's a big body. He's going to try to work right through you. And you see the snow on his jersey. He was willing to sacrifice, get down low, win the battle down low, and eventually force that one out of play.
Martino couldn't quite control it off the draw. It gets snapped up, and now through the neutral zone, the Jets are in. Starting to see a little physicality here early as it gets sent the length of the ice. Out to play it was Cyrus. Reverse near side. He's got Martino right on him. And another turnover force in the neutral zone by the Chicago Crush. Slapped in by Tassat. Continue around by Stanhope, but Crush turn it over. Behind the net, Levine battles away with Stanhope. Crush again, come away with it, and a quick shot is blockered up and out by Cyrus. And a relatively dangerous opportunity from the bottom side of the near side circle there for the Chicago Crush.
Yeah, it was Levine opening up just across the goal line, and he's been with the Crush for so long. He's flip-flopped between Premier and Elite. This year, he's full Premier, and for good reason. He's really gaining that confidence. He's gaining that positioning. He knew where to be there, just simply a better save.
Playing in his 98th USPHL game today is Jace Levine. So obviously familiar, like you said, with the flow of the game in this USPHL Premier League. Controlled by the Jets in the offensive zone. Rebound. To the point it goes. And a quick shot from the near side. Set behind him, and the Jets put it home. That's Caleb Curto. And some questions around the Crush crease. I do believe Caleb Curto has opened the scoring and taken the Jets ahead by 1.
Yeah, it's Curto, and great job by Paulius Uzushenas, who is a former Chicago Cougar, by the way, to just get something towards the net. It seems harmless at first, but when you have all that crowd in front of the crease, it's so hard for Kuzmill to be the one to pounce on top of it. And the Jets just simply beat him with the stick. They put it home. It's a gritty, dirty goal. And Phil Bushbosher talked with the officials right now, but he really didn't give much of a reaction. I think he knows it was just a gritty play in the game. He's not going to question it too much, and the Jets have that first goal.
The former Red Stallion gets his second goal on the year. Take the Jets up by 1. Not even halfway through this first period. The Crush look to respond. The offensive zone is Darlis, who kept that one in. It's stick down and out by Schaffer.
And I'm not sure if you folks at home can hear it, but we've got the buzzer from the other game going behind us. That's something that even the Crush players are still something they need to adjust to. They just added a second sheet here at Summit. So this is the first time you're hearing a buzzer while you're playing. You just got to know your proximity and noise and just got to play on through it. Really wait on that whistle almost.
Beautiful new facility this year for the Chicago Crush to play at. As you said, with this new rink, it's really shaping up here in Lockport.
I think Cole Darlis was a little bit without hearing there. He did not hear the yells of off from the linesman. Eventually has an intentional offsides. It's going to put his team all the way back. But yeah, no, this place is going to be so much fun when it is completed. You got a bar between the two rinks. I've been told the temperature will warm up eventually because we're feeling it up here, but nothing wrong with that. It maintains the ice, I guess. And it's still fun up here in the booth.
Sarantano there on a forecheck, forced a turnover momentarily, but couldn't quite get anything going, and it's Brackett back the other way. On the point, Fournier had a shot that was wide, and it's backhanded up near side wall by Tassat. A series of turnovers. Now going back the other way is Lind, and he's right in front, and a big save is made by Cyrus as Caleb Lind was in all by himself.
Yeah, I don't know how Cyrus wasn't beat there. He seemed like he was drifting away from the puck. Somehow dug his skate into the ice, stood his ground, and was able to deny the big stature of Caleb Lind on a great chance.
Crush still looking to respond to Curto's goal. Now in the neutral zone over the Crush line is Smith. Near side, Brackett has a drive from the top of the circle, and that goes right into the breadbasket of Kuzbol, and he'll hold on.
Well, my Crush fellows, you know I love you, but you also know it's probably going to be Chicago trying to maybe instigate a little bit more than usual today. As I mentioned, this Jets team's so disciplined. They kind of just find a way to stay out of it. And Christian Dukic, very physical presence. He made a big hit earlier. Seemed to try to ignite the fire there, but that's good headspace by Metro just to keep doing your thing. You got the lead.
Gamelin with the face-off win. A near side shot went up the crossbar maybe, and it's kept in on the point. Dancing through was Bedurka. On the point, another shot was well wide, and it's picked up far side corner by Bickers. He couldn't get it out. Now on the half wall. Across in the middle, that shot gets blocked. And the Crush force it out.
They caught a high stick there, and Crush are going to go to the power play.
I believe that was Jack Martino who caught that stick up high.
Yeah, Martino, the captain of this team, and his type of play style kind of scares me for somebody wearing a visor because he's willing to get his head down, get low into those battles, but I guess there is the upside of being able to truly draw that high sticking as we just saw there. And now this is a Crush team that is desperate to put one on the board here. Already trailing, you're looking to equalize things with a not too shabby power play unit coming up.
Crusher 17.65% on the power play this season, have 6 power play goals. I think that's Martino arguing for maybe a double minor.
Yeah, I think he just spit blood. And I don't know your discretion on that. It didn't look like it was showing, but he definitely just spit some out. I don't know, does it have to be truly visible on the face, or is it kind of just discretion?
I think it's kind of just discretion. I think they were ready to drop the puck for that face-off. The whistle had already been blown, and then they're arguing for the blood. I think the blood has to be shown a little bit sooner than waiting, until they're ready to drop that puck. That gives you plenty of time to crank down on that, where that stick hits you and maybe draw a little blood. But either way, it's just 2 minutes, and the Crush will go to work on the power play. Kept in on the point there by Sarantano. Now in to pick it up. The Crush have a shot that was just wide. And on the point is Luz Betek. A centering pass, and that was Mikey Large who was right in the slot, but I don't think got everything on that shot that he wanted to. Was fighting through a couple sticks, and the puck will bounce on over to Cameron Cyrus, who will hold on.
Yeah, we only saw the Crush Elite power play before this game go at it once, but I feel like it's always been kind of a common theme with Chicago is sometimes they get a little impatient. You want to just get in, you want to settle, you want to space out, because that's where your best opportunities are going to come. Let's see if they can do that off the opening draw here.
They'll look to get a couple more opportunities as we crossed over the halfway point in period number 1. Motoring up the right wing side is Knopfsinger. He's in over the Jets line. And they will set up centering pass, and the Crush score! That's Jace Levine.
What I say, Logan, he's got that veteran positioning. He places his stick right on the edge of the crease there, and nobody from Metro is able to pick him up until the last second. Whereas all Jace has to do is just slightly push his stick forward, redirect it on in, and that is the power play goal they everlastingly needed to tie up this game, bring things back to a quote-unquote 0-0, and play it on from here.
With his 23rd goal all-time and his 98th USPHL hockey game, Jace Levine has evened it up on the power play.
Yeah, he's gonna pass that quarter-century mark before he's done. I know this is his last year, but made such a big impact to this Crush organization over time.
Big shot block out in front there by Dukic. Allows the Crush to go back in. Guda on the far side half wall couldn't control, but a turnover is forced by Vincent Sarantano. In the far side corner is Alexander Guda. He's got it back now. Couple Jets players on him. And it's skated out by LeBlanc. Leaves it off. A shot went right off the stick of Cole Darlis and behind the net. Crush have done that a few times. Some major block shots.
Yeah, it's a big reason why Kuzma hasn't been put to the test yet, other than that one jamming rebound in front that went past him.
A whistle stopping play for offsides. Kobayashi questioning there. I'm kind of questioning that one too, but
yeah, I wasn't too sure about that one either.
That's all right. Puck is dropped. We're already going again. On the red line, Lejbakov sent that one in. He's got on the point, has it poked off his stick by Caleb Lind, who's moving in with speed. He's got it. Jetson, his shot was knocked down by Cyrus, who was way out on top of the crease to challenge the shooter. Now with speed is Brackett. Trying to stick handle right through Luz Betek. And the Jets couldn't keep it in.
See, I don't know how these whistles aren't throwing them off. I know we're closer to the other rink than they are, but I'm hearing them well and clear from here.
Lind could not toe drag around. Matisiak forced the turnover in the offensive zone. Here's Levine. Had a couple Jets players on him, and they get it out, but it's sent right back in by Knopfsinger. The offensive zone is Matisiak.
And that's big news for the Crush. Alex Matisiak back with the organization. I know he was playing in the NA3HL as of a month ago with the El Paso Rhinos. Seemed he must have missed home a little bit. I know the Crush are always open arms with that. They did that with Tyler Rentner last year, who was playing out in Utica, and they brought him back. So, no, that's a big piece for sure.
Graduate of Fenwick High School. I'm sure he's happy to come back home and play in the Chicagoland area. A wraparound attempt right there by Matisiak was shut down by Cyrus, who will hold on. 6:01 left in the first period, all tied up, 1 goal aside.
Yeah, no, Cyrus has been really impressive, Logan. I think his ability to stop that second opportunity has prevented this game from really opening up, because I think the Crush have just simply had the better start. They're playing above expectation up to this point.
Yeah, Cyrus got that win yesterday for the Jets. Had 21 saves on 23 shots, and obviously Jake Howie liked what he saw. Gives Cyrus the look again here. The toe drag to the middle. Here's Badurka, and he couldn't get it to the net. And it's poked up and carried into the zone by Brown. Centering pass, and could not be received there by Cole Darless. And an opportunity gone by the wayside for the Crush. Badurka slap one right by the side of the goal. And Brown back in his own zone. Tried a cross-ice pass. It was intercepted. A quick shot went right into the logo of Kuspel, who will hold on. First time we've said his name in quite some time.
Yeah, Badurka had a good look earlier as well, but it was the Crush who ended up having numbers on a transition opportunity. Couldn't be held at the point by Schaefer. It was a great job by Ryan Brown to kind of read that he was going to try to kick and hold the zone. He pounced on top of it, just missed on that centering feed, but that's the type of plays you love to see if you're Phil Bushbosher and company, just generating plays out of your own end and turning them into numbers opportunities.
Been shut down defense for the Crush for the most part in period number 1. They'll look to finish out strong here with about 4:50 left. Moving through the neutral zone is Large. Had to fight through a couple sticks and kind of just slapped it on goal. A point shot deflected into the near side corner by Keith Watkins. And a battle ensues the near side half wall. Behind the net, McLean is tangled up. And coming out of there is Boscovich. Into the zone is Rebone. Ran right into Timo Tossat. Now Rebone behind the net. Is pinched off the puck by Tossat. Good, hard, clean hockey being played by both sides. Out to play it was Cyrus. The near side, Boscovich. Pace of play is starting to pick up a little bit as we approach the end of period number 1. Both teams looking to take a lead into the dressing room. Edwards behind the net. Chips it up to Caleb Lind, who sent it across the ice. Back in his own zone is Alex Fournier. The former Bison sent it across. And it gets sent in. Lind. Center right up to Guda, who trying to give it right back to Lind, but the pass was behind him, and it gets slapped around behind the Jet net. A point shot from Knopfsinger could not be deflected out of front. A spin-around pass right to Caleb Lind, who couldn't quite handle it. And another high-quality chance for the Chicago Crush.
Yeah, another good look there, Logan, and a good save by Cyrus. I think everybody in this building thought that was going to be deflected down to the ice by Guida, but he kept his pads where they needed to be, made the save.
Kobayashi on the forecheck forced a turnover. Here's Brackett behind the net. That centering pass was broken up by Vincent Sarantano. Behind his own net, Knopfsinger sent it up the far side glass and gets continued out of the zone by Alexander Guda. And tangled up was Blake Brackett. And that will cause an offsides.
Yeah, and you're getting those day 3 shenanigans. See a little bit of a retaliation from Brackett on that previous zone entry. Keith Watkins didn't like it, and he was just chirping him from the bench. They clearly do not like each other.
Intensity level high. It's almost like each series is playoff hockey, which is what I like to see.
No, the best of 3, especially when you get a rubber match, it feels like that, really, because, yeah, it's one extra win, but it means a whole lot during this weekend and the next few.
A turnover is forced by the Jets, and a save had to be made by Brendan Kuspel. Not a problem at all. Going back the other way were the Crush, but they couldn't quite get anything going, and Brackett was into the zone. That looked offsides to me, but we play on. From the point, a big shot, a butterfly save is made by Kuspel. He had to make a second stop, and sitting down, found that puck. And that was the best opportunity in a while for the Metro Jets.
Yeah, once again, getting in front, getting ready on a good goalie like Kuspel. And I really don't know if there's another team in the division on offense there when that exact play happens and that breakout happens in front of the net. Whereas some sort of fight wouldn't happen. I mean, they were taking checks and they kind of just stare at the Crush guy. When you really watch it in detail, it's kind of incredible. I couldn't retain that cool.
Disciplined hockey is the name of the game, though, especially when you're each about even in the standings, second and third in the Midwest Division here. They don't want to give any unnecessary opportunities. They've done a great job so far. Luska's point shot was blocked. Bouncing around on the top of the circle, controlled by Cole Darlis. To the point, another shot from Luska was well wide of the net. Bounces around to the far side. Centering pass, Luska's got it again. Another shot got deflected out in front, but it was deflected wide. Energy picking up here for the Metro Jets. Snapped on goal and a up-high save made by Kuspel. Pushed the net off in the process, but wants to slow things down in his defensive zone.
Clovis Gamelin on the shot there. It's a name I recognize. A lot of returners on this Jets team, and Gamelin's always had a lethal shot. He kind of opens up, gets a quick release on, but that thing zips. And I'm almost not sure if Kuspel was ready for that type of velocity. Still able to shoulder it away.
Ready or not, he was in perfect position to make that stop. 25 seconds left here in the first frame. In the offensive zone, it's McLean who centered around the net. Continued up by Knopfsinger, but kept in by Boscovich. Boscovich again slaps it wide of the net. And on the far side, it's Bederka. Battle ensues in the far side corner. Horn will sound, and that will do it for the first 20 minutes of hockey here in Lockport.
And that's the buzzer on our end. Now that's a lot louder. I get where the players are coming from, how they're not able to fall for it anymore.
Great first period of hockey from both sides, even after one. We should be in for a fantastic next 40 minutes of hockey here at Summit Life Center in Lockport. We'll see period number 2 in about 15 minutes. You're watching USPHL Premier Action on Black Bear TV. Welcome back inside Summit Ice Center in Lockport, Illinois. Logan Kapp alongside Luke Jordan for period number 2 of USPHL Premier action. After one period, we are all tied up, 1 goal aside, courtesy of Caleb Porto for the Metro Jets and Jace Levine for the Chicago Crush. Thoughts on the first, Luke?
I've liked both sides of play really up to this point, especially offensively. I think the Jets have gone with more of the gritty play style, getting in front, knowing with a goalie like Brennan Kuzbel, you got to test him in close. Whereas he, no matter how good he is, you can't save a rebound that comes right out to the back door. They've been good on that. They've been good on staying disciplined, but also jabbing at the puck in front of the net. That's how they scored that first goal. For the Crush, meanwhile, I said it when Jace scored, it's the positioning. They know where to be on the forecheck, on the zone entry, on the back door where Levine scored. And, I mean, if you're Phil Bush-Bashaw, I think everything you've drawn up on the board has pretty much worked at this point. You get the power play goal and see what comes out here in the middle frame. It's got a very much the deja vu of the earlier Elite game, and really what's been all weekend. It's just between these two programs and the higher up team and the lower team, the Premier and Elite, like, it has just always been close. It's never out of hand.
It's been close all weekend. This is a rubber match between these two clubs at the Premier level. The Jets took the game yesterday, and the Crush on Friday in overtime. So it's been close all weekend. It's been some great hockey being played here, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this one.
Yeah, same exact pattern as the Elite games, too. Whereas it was Crush who won on Friday, Jets who won on Saturday in shootout, and then the finisher pulled off by the Crush right before this one at the Elite level. Now trying to do the same up here with their Premier team that is hungry for a win.
After that icing, we'll see a face-off. Crush ends, not even 60 seconds into this second frame, but you made a good point when we got going here that I think a lot of the goals that the Jets are going to score this hockey game are going to be those gritty goals in front of the net. You mentioned it. Crush have been playing shutdown defense, and the Jets have been clogging the middle in the slot and just hammering away at it. So I'll look to see some of that for the rest of this game. On the far side, Uzin Sinus got the assist on the lone Jets goal today. A quick shot hit a leg out in front. That was Tissot, and it's shoveled up and out by Martino.
Fearless block by Tissot. He's been known for that in his Crush tenure. He's able to get into the shooting lane and fearlessly put his body on the line.
Here he is working hard in the neutral zone into support. And now skating away with it is Lind. On the far side, a centering pass and a big right pad save is made by Cyrus. I don't know if that was a pass, more or less a shot, but either way, Cyrus made the save. A turnover on the Crush blue line, and a quick shot is knocked down by Kuzbel. And some quality opportunities exchanged here in the second period. In front of the net, some contact there. And Kuzbel will pounce on top of it.
Yeah, I like the behind-the-back pass attempt below the net from Boderka, but hits off a skate. Nothing much comes out of it. But as you mentioned, on both ends, really good chances to open up things. I don't imagine if that momentum stays the same and the offenses keep propelling into those types of chances that this game will remain tied for long.
A sharp angle shot went and hit Kuzbel up high, and the rebound is sent back into the Jets zone, but again, the Jets doing a good job clogging just in front of Brennan Kuzbel, taking away his eyes, and that last one, I don't even think he saw it. It just hit him up high. Luska in his own zone. In to take it away was Large, but couldn't control. Back the other way is LeBlanc. He's in over the Crush line. Far side, snaps one on goal, and a big save is made by Kuzbel, who will hold on. Another quality chance for the Metro Jets.
Yeah, and you see Kuzbel, he's at least 2 feet outside the blue paint there, trying to make himself a bigger presence. don't think I've seen him come that far out of his crease yet, but he does at the right time, makes a nice butterfly save.
He'll see a face-off to his right wing side, won by the Jets. A quick shot from the top of the circles by LeBlanc. Again, easily handled by Kuspo.
Yeah, and it seems easy, but just not giving up that second chance. I said he did great in the first period about it. It's a good start for him here in the second, because if that thing pops out, you got guys with acceleration coming in right to the blue paint.
Rebound control, been a strong point for Crush goaltending today. As it gets sent out now, Fournier dances it into the Crush end, but ran right into Brown, and now he's moving with speed into the Jets end. Got it below the goal line, centering pass, and it's sent wide by Darless, who is right out in the slot ready for it. A flub pass gives Gold the puck on the point, and a shot again saved by Cyrus. Glove down by Brown, but he couldn't control. Now LeBlanc moving back the other way. Crisscross on the far side. LeBlanc controls it down into the corner. He took a big shoulder there from Dukic, and it's slapped back down low. On the point, Fournier sent it down low and took some major contact from Ryan Brown in the process. Physicality starting to pick up.
Yeah, too much there. Dukic is going to get called for roughing here.
Penalty coming up to the Crush, and they will end up touching up. Roughing is the call.
Yeah, I was down in that far side corner, Logan. I'm not sure if you saw it, but Brackett took a check initially, and then Dukic came in and kind of gave him a shove to the back of the head. Once again, it's that instigation factor, and Dukic is a very physical guy. I give Ryan Brown credit, though. He made a big hit over here on the near side. Completely clean, momentum swinging, but now that all is vanquished now with an MJDP power play.
Look to take the lead here in period number 2 as they control off the face-off. On the point is Luska. In the middle, he sends it far side, moving in, and a shot was turned down by Tissot into the corner. Jets still control. Gamelin tried a centering pass, but in mucking things up was Tissot. On the point, Luska. Umbrella-style power play. Far side is Bedurka. Jets taking their time. Setting it up, Fournier near side. In the middle is Luska. Down low to Bedurka. Snap foot on goal, and he scores! Noah Bedurka gets his 5th goal on the season on the power play. And the lefty from Petoskey, Michigan, takes the Jets up by 1.
Yeah, he's gotten a couple of good looks from just outside the slot, and he's not scared to let it rip. This one Kuzma's going to want back. It kind of just slots in between his legs, but like you said, the umbrella-style power play for the Jets, but they were able to rotate. They were able to fill in for each other, eventually find that space to create that opportunity, and now it's the Jets back in front. Like I said, Logan, if the offenses kept doing what they were doing, wasn't going to be tied for long, and 3 minutes after I say that, it's 2-1.
It's been all Jets here in period number 2, and finally they're rewarded on the power play. Offsides there, just under the 15-minute mark. In period number 2, we'll see a face-off outside the Metro Jets bench.
9th power play goal of the season for Metro. Just about middle of the pack when it comes to the power play in a very large league.
Moving into today, they're 18.6%. That will do good as we got a player down in the near side corner Jets end after taking some major contact. I believe that's Stanhope.
Yeah, you're right, Logan. He took a clean check there down the corner, but was at a high speed. I don't think he was exactly prepared for it with his body, but it's good to see him up on his own, skating on his own. It's kind of something I always like to say is when you see somebody injured, you're kind of hoping it's just a stinger, and it hurts the worst now, and you can wear it off, get right back out there. And I think that will be the circumstances with him, getting right through the door, closing the door on his own, sitting down on his own. So keep you posted on his well-being, but glad to see him back up after being shaken up.
Stanhope was the one who took that high sticking penalty way back in the first period. One has to think that the Crush were looking for a little bit of retribution with some nice, clean body play.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's safe today, especially we mentioned the third game. They've been laying the body. We've seen it plenty, and it's another clean hit. They've made primarily clean hits. It's the retaliations where they get out of control.
Schaffer sends a rink-wide pass right to Nossinger in his own zone. And his saucer pass was stick down by McLean, but made its way over to Gouda, who sent it in. McLean rings it around his own net. And Curto, the lone goal scorer, or one of the goal scorers, I should say now, for the Metro Jets, sent it across. And a sloppy entry for the Jets there results in an offside. 13:44 left to go in period 2.
Very interested to see how the Crush respond after that goal from Metro. It's a broad statement, but they've almost somehow amped up the physicality even more. And now how do you turn it into offensive chances?
Crush really haven't had any chances at all here in the second period. It's been all Jets.
A little bit at the start, first 2 minutes. Since then, it's been very quiet for Cyrus.
Here now, Jets controlling their own zone. It's Daniel Luca.
Yeah, Luska, he actually played at BGHW, fun fact, so he's a local from here.
Playing in Des Moines for the Buccaneers before that.
Yeah.
And I believe his Bantam year is when he was over there in Des Moines. Here's the Crush in the offensive zone now. Cole Darlis was trying to make something happen, but was unable. Now LeGros moves it into the Crush zone.
I think I played against Daniel my senior year when he was a freshman, I'm pretty sure, and then he just moved down to juniors.
A turnover, LeBlanc snaps one on goal, and a big glove save is made by Kuspel. And he's been right on it, bouncing back nicely after that power play goal from the Jets.
Yeah, other than that one goal from Badurka, he's been very clean about slot shots or just outside of the slot. He makes the save, doesn't allow any sort of rebound. He does it once again. He's got a very, very crisp glove.
Stanhope sends it in to the far side corner where Tissot's back to get it. And his pass around the net found Gamelin, who sent it to the point. And now in front of the net, Badurka. On the far side half wall, pressured by Tissot. Gave it down low. As the Jets still controlling in the offensive zone. Badurka. Now it's Tissot. Still can't get it out in the corner. Jets work it to the middle, and in the slot it's cleared out. On the point kept in. A big save, butterfly style, is made by Kuspel off that point shot. Again, Jets still control. Stanhope with the big drive, knocked down by Kuspel. And Lynn could not be fed ahead and move it with speed. Was Petoskey, but now some extracurriculars after the whistle.
Not really sure what that erupted from. I know Lynn took a little bit of a check per se, and that's what ended up in him being offsides. He kind of lost where he was. And now I think that's Hartman, who is just really starting to lose his cool. But I mean, I'm assuming this is the furthest you'll see this type of after whistle intensity. I think it's gonna get over to the MJDP bench where it's just gonna be a word of, hey, they're going to make the Crusher going to make a mistake like that, Torres. They're going to be the only one doing something like that, and then we're going to be on the power play. So if you're the Crush, you got to be careful and make sure nothing happens.
I don't know, Luke. Things are heating up on this very cold Sunday afternoon.
Very cold. It's like I know a few weeks ago I came here for my first game. I got to at least bake in my car at intermission. Well, I can't do that anymore. Because even the walk to your car, you turn into ice.
It's cold all the way around, but makes for some good ice.
Yeah, no, ices look really clean here.
Centering pass was right to Blake Brackett, but was a little too hot for him to handle. And now Brackett's got it back on the red line and sends it in. Connor Edwards in his own zone. Could not get it out. It's Smith. Sent it down low to McLean. On the point and sent across, and a shot hit traffic out in front. A rebound is found by Brackett. Exchanges with McLean behind the net. Brackett's got it, and a centering pass was right to Smith. And sliding from left to right was Brennan Kuspel, and he pushed the net off in the process.
Yeah, it's kind of what you want now for Metro. You're able to go back into the offensive zone, have a face-off, but how about that puck movement down low? McLean, the beautiful feed to Brackett, and then the centering feed that was just a few centimeters from connecting with the stick and being put in the back of the net. That's what we saw from the Crush in the first period that we haven't really seen here. It's more kind of turn the table around to whereas the Jets are creating those types of opportunities, and they were real close to doubling their lead.
Face-off won by the Crush. They can't clear it out. A point shot goes off the end boards and right to Matiziak, who got it out. Here now is Schaffer. In over the Crush line, left it off for Curto. His long-range shot easily handled by Kuspel for a whistle. Kuspel absolutely getting peppered from this start of the second period.
It's quite the change in intensity from the first, like you said. I mean, absolutely.
Right off the draw is Watkins, who ran into a rebound in the neutral zone, but was still working hard. A cross-ice pass feeds Caleb Curto into the zone, but again, the puck makes its way over to Kuspel, who will hold on.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of reaching the end of the fuel tank for both these teams. You play 3 games in 3 days with periods of 20 minutes, especially some of these top line guys. You start to see a little bit of wear and tear showing here in the second period, but you can tell they're fighting through it, playing to their max.
Both teams, I know, would like to come away with the series win today. They've got plenty to play for the rest of this hockey game, as coming in out well after the whistle with Keith Watkins, giving a stiff shot right in front of the Crush bench, and more words exchanged.
Yeah, I love Keith. Keith knows me. I think he should maybe go to the box for that one. That's the kind of 50-50 call where you feel like if you don't make it, you worry about those types of tempers flaring even further. And I know you can relate to that in your officiating experience, Torres. Now it's kind of, all right, we didn't call it. Now they probably think they can get away with that in the future. And then so the ball rolls.
Absolutely. And Keith Watkins, no stranger to being in the penalty box. His second in penalty minutes for this Crush hockey team. And I think neither of us would be surprised if he saw the inside today. Fournier from the point. His shot through traffic. The save was made by Kuspel. Not even sure how he tracked that puck. On the point far side is Boscovich. And that one gets deflected up and out. I'm not sure if that shot hit Kuspel in the helmet, but it looked like it knocked a strap off.
Huh.
He was giving it a shake during play there. That's one of those things, Luke, where as a referee, I'm looking at it. You know, if he's still got the helmet on his head, we're not blowing the whistle, but sometimes if that strap comes off, they'll intentionally shake that helmet off to cause a stoppage of play. And you know, if it happens a couple times throughout the course of a hockey game, you might have the case for a delay of game penalty.
Yeah, you've probably seen that more than me, but I can relate to that a few times in my life. I've definitely seen it once or twice here in my numerous years in the USP.
Either way, no harm, no foul as he kept it on. Now in the offensive zone, Crush couldn't even get a shot on goal. Here now moving with speed was Gould, who ran right in the referee and gave him a big hug in the process.
You like a mid-game tangle like that?
Puck is sent all the way down for an icing call. 8:12 left in period 2. Jets are up 2-1.
Lucas, how's the second hug? That is, I've never seen that before. Usually you laugh it off a little bit. I don't think you go for a follow-up, but use your Lucas.
That's referee C.J. Marshall giving a little bit of a chuckle there. Face-off one controlled by the Jets, and it's scooped up and out by LeBlanc. In his own zone is Knopfsinger as he's trying to kickstart this offensive surge, or wannabe offensive surge for the Chicago Crush. Moving in with speed is Edwards. And a shot goes up off the crossbar. An absolute rifled opportunity from Connor Edwards. Doesn't even count as a shot on goal.
Yeah, and that entire Crush bench was trying to say that it was in, but no, that one was crossbarring out from what we could see over here, and Cyrus pointed to the crossbar to show them, hey, it hit this.
Kobayashi, and now the Jets moving in, and another quality chance was sent wide by Blake Brackett. And can you believe it? High quality chances going both ways.
Yeah, Brackett's had a couple of great looks today. He's got to get rewarded at some point.
Sent in by Lejbakov. Now in his own zone is Edwards. He'll come away with it, skate it behind the Crush net, and get things going. An excellent back check from Will Smith. And now moving in the Jets the other way. And Brackett sent another one wide. He was looking at a wide open goal, but couldn't hit the 4x6 opening. Jets still controlling the offensive zone. It gets sent around near side corner. And that's Edwards and Brackett tangled up near side. Brackett comes away with it. A sharp angle shot gets sent wide by Kuspo. Not even sure how Blake Brackett got all of that shot from that steep of an angle.
I'm not sure how he hasn't found the back of the net on this ship. That's a third great opportunity. And oh my, hard hit with a big hit down low.
Well, that was Lejbakov, who just took some major contact behind the Jets net as the Crush looked to swing the momentum pendulum back in their favor. Matiziak on the point, couldn't get anything going. And so now back in his own zone is Bickers. Some miscommunication there, sends rebound into the Crush zone. He has a shot on the ice, and the door is shut by Kuspo. Jets still control. Down in the corner with a huge reverse hit is Benjamin McLean. That was on Kristen Dukic. And McLean showing how strong he is on his skates. Gave it right away on the Crush blue line. Bickers fanned on the clearing attempt. Second try got over the line. And now a rink-wide pass sends rebound in. Another reverse hit. Rebound looked like hit Dukic up high, and he was giving an earful to the linesman.
Yeah, almost kind of like a cross-check follow-through there. You got to be careful there if you rebound.
Matiziak sent it across the ice. Here's Levine, and some contact in the middle of the ice. Down is Noah Badurka. Not sure what happened. It looks like he's holding the back of his neck.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Logan, I am very concerned for Bedurka, but I didn't see what happened, and I don't think really anybody did, because you kind of see the play, and you kind of see Bedurka sliding into center ice. There was really no reaction from the Jets bench until late, whereas it's why aren't you blowing the whistle, but it's because they didn't have the puck. But now you got a very curious Jets bench looking for some sort of explanation. I don't think anybody here caught that, and that includes myself. I mean, nobody's perfect.
Absolutely not. The Metro Jets bench, palms up, I think wanted a call, clearly wanted a call.
I mean, it had to have been something potentially cheap behind the play. That's my only thought. But then again, I don't think C.J. Marshall saw it. And I mean, I don't know your opinion on this, but you probably shouldn't put your hand up if you really don't know what happened. So it's tough.
I mean, you got to feel for the Jets, though. I mean, anytime your player gets injured, you're looking for a call to go your way. And whether you saw it or not, I mean, I know Blake Howie's trying to get any advantage that he can here today against the Crush. Even being up by one, they have all the reason to ask for a penalty, but I mean, the trouble with the one referee, two linesman system is you got one guy on the ice that's calling penalties. The other two guys can give their opinion on what the call is, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's the guy wearing the orange armbands making the call, and if he didn't see it and the linesmen were focused on the ice, the potential icing situation, unfortunately, there's not a lot of a case to be made.
Yeah. I've always loved to eavesdrop these types of conversations. I wonder how he starts that conversation. I wonder what he says, and then I wonder what Marshall kind of rebuts with, because I don't think Howie saw it either, unless he just had a late reaction. But as soon as I saw him falling through center ice, I kind of looked over at the bench, and everybody was just kind of confused. Nobody really saw it.
Yeah, I mean, the way these conversations go is the coach obviously wanted a penalty.
Yes.
The referee is not calling a penalty. And no matter what the coach is saying, in all cases, the coach is never going to talk the referee into calling a penalty.
Oh, yeah.
Or out of calling a penalty that's already been called.
It's like a pointless video review.
Exactly. And so sometimes, you just have to, as a referee, you just have to hear the coach out, because they need to, let out some of their frustration and
release.
You're wearing the black and white stripes, so that's just part of the game, part of the job description, And I'm sure that conversation went something like, well, our player was down. What did you see? And the referee said, I didn't see it, or he would have called it.
Yeah.
And there's not much more to be said. So either way.
And they might have just given the Jets a little bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card there. It could have been potential cross-check on the far side. That's what the Crush wanted, but we keep going.
That physicality, I'm sure, will be on extra high for the last 4 minutes of period number 2. As a turnover is forced behind the Jets net. Here now come the Jets. In over the Crush line is Gamelin. And his shot was saved by Kuzbul, who I think thought he had it in his glove, but it turned out to be under his pad. Either way, the whistle is blown, and we'll see a face-off Crush zone.
Yeah, it almost kind of looked like the initial reaction there from Kuzbul. I thought it almost got under his pad entirely, but it's that real sticky timing, Torres. You just get your pad down in time, and he basically just trapped over it with his right leg pad, able to make a big save, because if he's a millisecond slower, that puck is getting right by him, and it's a 3-1 lead for the Jets.
They'll see a face-off to his right wing side, won by the Jets. LeBlanc controls it over the near side. Stanhope snaps one on goal and hit traffic out in front, and that allows Brown to shovel it out. LeBlanc back in his own zone. Sent it across to Lejbakov. Now in his own zone is Edwards for the Crush. Gould in the middle of the ice, ran into a big shoulder, moving into the zone is Darlis. He sent it across, and that shot from Ryan Brown hit someone out in front. And now moving back with speed is LeBlanc. In over the Crush line, is taken down by Brown. No call on the play. And you like to see nice physical, clean contact. LeBlanc hoisted into the near side corner Crush end, where it's snapped up by Edwards.
That was a great hand-eye coordination play by Stanhope. Otherwise, Lucas Golden might have nearly had a breakaway, but he sticks it down.
A turnover in front there, and a quality chance for Smith. I don't know, some miscommunication down below the Crush goal line, and puck just kind of squirted out, but Smith missed the net.
That's why I've always been taught. I always have tried to teach the kids that I've coached or the players I've played with, you forecheck your heart out, because that extra second that, or should I say that second less that the Crush had there to try to get rid of the puck nearly turned into chaos.
Puck is broken up by Sarantano. He's in with Gould. Sarantano's got it in the middle, and Gould had some contact and gave a couple extra shots to Uzusinas. And now the Crush will be heading to the penalty box.
Yeah, I give credit to Marshall there. There's a lot going on. He was able to pick out the right call, and this would have really been the tip of the iceberg if they did not make that call, whereas things would have just simply gotten out of hand. Now, if you're the Jets, you get basically the rest of the second period on the power play, and a unit that has already scored here. This could be trouble. And it's another thing where discipline kills. You look at that first power play goal for the Jets. It was Dukic in the box on retaliation. It's more of the same here, and you're wondering if it's going to cost you double.
Absolutely. Lucas Gould really, I think, probably almost had a case for drawing a penalty himself. Uzusinas kind of took him out.
Yeah.
As they were going in 2-on-1.
He just kind of fell on purpose to take away the passing lane, I guess. It was. You don't see that type of defensive approach too often.
And I think Gould was frustrated with the defensive play, but we'll see the inside of the penalty box for the next 2 minutes. Glove down by Bledsoe. And sent in. That'll let the Crush get a line change. 95 seconds left here in period number 2. Benavides in behind the Crush net. Now the Jets will go to work on the power play. Fournier moves it to the middle. Benavides has a shot, and that's soaked up by Kuzbul, who will hold on. Minute 14 left in period 2.
Yeah, once again, another shot up high where it's in a spot where you can easily accidentally chest it back into the danger zone if you're Kuzbul, but he's able to put his glove right on where that puck was and prevent it from furthering the play.
Face off to his left wing side, one and controlled by the Jets. Luska, near side is Fournier, and he rifled one that hit traffic out at the top of the circles, but Jets retain possession. Fournier across to Luska. He's got Brown right on him. On the far side is Bedurka. Luska, near side is Fournier. Sent down low. And one-timer from Fournier was up over the net. Again, Bedurka's got it. 38 seconds left to go. Luska. Saucer pass to Fournier, which will send him down into the corner. And he continued it down and went right over the stick of Gamelin. Now it's Benavides. A shot in front. Scrambling was Kuzbul, who made the save. 17 more seconds. Crush finally get that out over the blue line. What a save by Brennan Kuzbul. Controlled down low. Centering pass. And again, the net is pushed off by Brennan Kuzbel with just under 5 seconds left to go in period 2.
Yeah, I don't care if there's 5 seconds left. You needed that whistle bad if you're Brendan Kuzbel. You needed it bad if you're the Crush defense. No, you can't change, but you just need it for a moment. Kuzbel was all over the place. This has been a sandbox power play for the Jets. They've been able to do whatever they want. Benavidez got right inside and had a key opportunity, but Kuzbel made the save and then was somehow out of position, still made the save on the follow-up. He's been incredible.
The Crush, that was Brown, just kind of fell on that puck off the face-off, just trying to get out of this second period and do a little damage control. Metro Jets really controlled play throughout the course of that second period and taking a lot of momentum into the dressing room. I don't know what you think, Luke, about period number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was kind of just like the Elite game, low scoring, a lot of defensive action, a lot of good saves, but the Jets have controlled this game, especially as of late. And if you're the Crush, you're kind of thankful Brendan Kuzbel is your goalie today, and got to be thankful for the way that he's playing right now, because this game could be hectic if Brendan or anybody else in that goalie room is having a quote-unquote bad day. The Jets would have easily taken advantage by now.
Well, Brendan Kuzbel looking to pick up his second win of the weekend as the Crush try and fight back. We've got period number 3 happening in about 15 minutes. You're watching USPHL Premier Action on Black Bear TV. Welcome back inside Summit Ice Center for period number 3 of Crush versus Jets. Logan Kapp alongside Luke Jordan for what should be a very entertaining third period. That second 20 minutes of hockey we just witnessed, Luke, it was all Metro Jets. Do you think they're going to be able to pull it out?
It's been a seesaw game, but as of late, it's been the Jets. They've been simply more disciplined. They've been more intense after the puck. I really like the forecheck and back check from the Crush in the first period, but in the second, I feel like it kind of declined a little bit. And at this point, it's really about conditioning. How much fuel do you have left in the tank? You're playing your 9th period of the weekend, technically your 10th because of the overtime shootout, but the point is, you're exhausted one way or another. It's how long can you hang? Can you prove you're still going to be at 100% every shift? Just those little things you work on in the offseason to retain your endurance in moments like these in a long weekend. Almost feels like a showcase when you're playing 3 games in 3 days, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you're the Crush, you got to interrupt what the Jets have been doing with their momentum lately.
Noah Bedurka with the lone goal in period number 2 to take the Jets up by 1. They'll look to close out their 6th victory of the season thus far. They go to work in the offensive zone. That was Kobayashi. Now on the point. Controlled by Voskovich. Comes back to him. Another try. Goes off a skate. And Brackett sat right down in the middle by Ryan Brown. That was kind of a theme of period number 2, was physical play picking up. As you said, Luke, this is the 9th period of hockey over the last 3 days between these two teams, and I imagine, though it is nice and cold, it will be heating up as that puck gets sent behind, I think, the padding there on the edge of the glass.
I've never seen that.
That was interesting.
No, I don't think you saw it. It was behind the play, to be fair. It was Ryan Brown, I believe it was Ethan Brackett, who got tied up over in front of the Crush bench. Brown didn't like it, kind of cross-checked him back down, and it was right in front of the linesman. But like I said, they can't really do much about that in that situation. But he got away with one there, and the Jets should be on the power play right now. You got to try to keep your cool. I know I've been saying it over and over again. And when I usually step into this analyst role, I feel like Captain Obvious, but it's true. You gotta slow your roll. You gotta look. I love the hits. The hits are great, but after the hits, you just gotta watch out.
That's like a common theme as a referee that has never really made sense. I mean, when I was a player, it made sense, but as the skill level increases, and I feel like it elevates every year, at the same age bracket, youth hockey all the way up into USPHL Premier. The tendency to play the puck and play hockey instead of just go for the hit or go for, a play that's going to take you out of the game is kind of a point of emphasis. At least it has been the past couple of years in USA Hockey, and I imagine we'll start to see some of the benefits of that, within the next couple of years. Here now are the Jets. Rebound gave it to McLean in the middle. Here's Luska. Had that assist on that Badurka goal in period 2. On the point, a shot hit traffic out in front and deflects to the near side half wall. Scooped out to Matisiak in the middle, who sent it in.
Gotta drop that stick if you're Matisiak. Yeah, he almost got called there.
He, I think, is going to be a player to watch the rest of the game. Is right there. That was Keith Watkins who came in and laid down a big body check. Rebound couldn't get it out, kept in by Bledsoe on the points. And now a rebound will be sitting for 2 minutes. And the Crush will be going back to the power play.
It's kind of funny, Logan, that's the call that puts somebody in the box. After all we've seen, you've got Keith Watkins out there who's like a raging bull on steroids. But he's made clean hits, and most of the hits have been clean. There's a couple you got to watch out for early in this period between both teams, but in the end, it's actually the stick getting tangled up that results in a Crush power play and a chance to tie up this game.
Well, the criteria for calling a penalty as a referee, you got injury potential, change of possession, loss of scoring opportunity, or blatantly obvious. That's what that one was right there. Crush to the power play, looking to tie things up early here in period number 2. Far side one-timer hit traffic out in front, deflects into the near side corner where it's kept in by Tissot. Watkins came out with it, centered around to the far side as Luz Betek. Squirted out to the middle, and it's able to be skated out by Jarrett LeGros and sent in behind the Crush net.
Good forecheck here by LeGros.
In his second year with the Metro Jets, has been doing pretty well. 2 goals already on the season and 11 games played for LeGros.
Saw a little bit of a cross-check there at center ice. Coach Howie and company didn't like it. I think Lynn could have ended up in the box there.
Here now, sauntering into the zone is Edwards. Holds up, and now the Crush go to work on the power play. Kind of rushed opportunity there by Connor Edwards. Turned and just threw it on net. Didn't really set anything up. I think Hal probably could have slowed it down a little bit and foresaw a better opportunity. 23 seconds left of power play time for the Crush.
That meets the video summary, Logan. It's simply just rushing things. The point shots and heavy traffic aren't really going to usually go anywhere. And if they do, they somehow pinball their way onto the net. I'm not willing to take that risk. I think if you're Connor Edwards and company, you got to work on just working it down the boards, creating that opportunity that comes out of thin air. Because that was not a pretty power play.
No, it was not. Not as successful as their chance earlier. We've got a penalty coming up now, and I believe the Crush will be going back on the power play. Unless it was just a delayed whistle that Coos will have the puck. No.
I think this is going to be on the Crush. I believe it's Keith Watkins, and yep, cross-check. That's another kind of toss-up where I feel like there's been some other ones you could call instead. That one a little bit behind the play, though, and I think Keith Watkins is out for blood, but then again, there's levels to it. You got to be careful, and at some point, whether he agreed or not, it was going to come back to bite him.
We mentioned it earlier. Keith Watkins, second in penalty minutes on this Crush hockey team, puts his team down for 2 in a very critical situation in period 3 as the Jets look to get another power play goal. Near side, Badurka, he snaps one on goal, and it went off Kristen Dukic out in front. Jets retain possession. From the point, another shot goes in and out of the glove of Kuspel, and it bounced around to the slot, turns and fires, and another blocker save made by Kuspel, and finally it's cleared out.
Wow, we've seen a lot of great saves, Logan, but that might be one of the best ones of the game just because of reactionary time. That puck was going, his blocker was not at first, but he just quickly able to twitch it a little bit to the right and somehow punch that thing away. Great save.
Jets, as we approach the halfway point in this power play, as that one got almost deflected up here.
I'm waiting.
Right to us in the broadcast booth.
This is such a prime broadcast booth to catch a puck. I've only been a part of one catching ever, and it was my partner one time back in Northbrook. I don't care how numb my hands are, I want to catch one of these days. This has to be the spot. That was what, probably 5 feet to the left of me?
Yeah. Luke Jordan looking to go home with a little souvenir this afternoon. About half this power play left for the Jets. The offensive zone is Brackett, who will fire, and again saved by Kuspel.
I like that try, though. That's kind of spot on how Badurka scored. You kind of twitch the shot a little bit, and then you get a bit of a delayed drop down from Kuspel. That time he just gets down in time, protects the 5-hole.
Brackett, who just had that shot, had 1 goal yesterday in the first period. And looking to get another one here and take the Jets up by 2. Connor Edwards moving up the left wing side. His teammates are making a line change all by himself and kind of fumbled the puck, and that let Daniel Luska take it right off his stick. Brackett shouldered into the boards there by Large. And it's the Jets now. Luska, near side, one-timer, and it's sent wide. That was Fournier, who got, I think, everything he wanted on that one-timer, but sent it about 3 feet to the right of the net. Here's Smith into the zone. On the top of the circles, his stick aside by Kuspel. And now it's Brackett. Ran into a couple of Crush players there, and it's kept in momentarily by Stanhope. And it deflects up into the Crush bench, causing a stoppage of play.
A little bit more barking. Van Vickers and Ethan Brackett have not been getting along today. I'm sure if Keith was out there, he'd be barking a little bit too.
Another power play by the wayside for the Jets. The Crush really did a good job limiting the opportunities on that most recent penalty kill. Look to take some momentum away from that as we approach the halfway point in period 3. Slap back into the Crush end by Spencer Stanhope. Now controlled, sent into the middle, and it sat there, but it's pulled out by Caleb Lind. And no harm, no foul on that one. Near side was Boscovich. And slapped back down low by Potsy. On the point, that shot hit a shin pad and deflects to the near side half wall. Penalty coming up. I believe to the Crush again.
Yeah, Marshall's got better eyes than me. I believe it was something in front of the crease with how slow I believe that was Stanhope was to get up. And it's Caleb Lind, who hasn't been too physical since the first period, but something there might have ignited him to cross the line there. And once again, you're kind of throwing away your time. I mean, if you're able to stop the Jets on the power play, in which they've already scored once today, you've only got 10 minutes left, so you got to try to really find that disciplinary role that hasn't been found yet.
And Caleb Lynn, not the guy you want to see in the penalty box at this point in the hockey game.
No.
First in points for this Chicago Crush team. And when you're down, you don't want your top producers sitting in the penalty box. You got to kill off another one. Luska's got it for the Jets. Near side, Bedurka. He rifles it right back across to Fournier. Bedurka. Fournier on the point. Across to Luska. The Jets taking their time, looking for the best opportunity that's given to them. As it's sent down low by Fournier and recovered by Bedurka. Behind the net was Gamelin, and his centering pass evaded everybody and goes all the way back into the Jets' end of the ice. A turnover's forced on the Jet blue line by Darlis, who's doing an excellent job forechecking on the penalty kill. Moving into the zone is Fournier. He's forced behind the net by Knopfsinger and really giving the business behind the Crush net. On the point, a snapshot is blockered out by Kuspel. Bedurka now hesitates, tries to throw into the middle. And right there is Brown. In swoops Darlis, and he clears it down.
And I know they didn't score, but this is what I'm talking about, that patient power play. They're taking their time. They're creating simply better opportunities.
Taking their time. It's kind of the opposite of what we saw on the Crush power play, where the Crush were just forcing every opportunity they had. And the Jets are a little bit more methodical about it.
Well, in the end, you get the kill here. You just got to defend this rush, and you're back to even.
Brackett moving in fast the left wing side, but ran right into Bickens. And again, the Crush can't control in the offensive zone. Lejbakov sends it up to Kobayashi, who's moving into the Crush zone, but was shut down by Bickers. And now he carries the puck into the Jets' end. Backhand saucer pass to Martino, and his shot is turned aside by Cyrus in the first save he's had to make in quite some time. A pile up in the near side corner. On the point is Lejbakov. Throws one on goal, and it was bobbled by Kuspel. And the rebound couldn't even be sent on goal. The shoot-in attempt from Spencer Stanhope ended up in the Crush bench, and we'll see a whistle now and a face-off in the neutral zone.
Look, I'm not trying to be that guy again. I'm in no way calling out the officials. It's behind the play. You can't really tell, but I think Dukic got away with another cross-check there. And my Crush people, you know I love you, but I think we're getting away with a little bit here and there for sure.
The challenge is, Luke, is what do you call and what don't you call? Because you don't want it to become a penalty fest, and sometimes that's what happens. Again, we're calling the injury potential, the change of possession, loss of scoring opportunities, and the blatantly obvious.
I think this is just a game where you need two officials. It's too difficult to solo.
You also got to remember, though, in the USHL, United States Hockey League, they use the same officiating setup.
Yeah.
And they used to use this in the American League as well. And way back when in the NHL. So
that is true.
Off that icing violation, the Jets won't be allowed to change. We'll see a face-off to the right wing side of Cameron Cyrus. With 8:19 left to go in period 3. Knopfsinger from the point has his shot paddled aside by Cyrus. And the puck is in the near side corner and scooped out by Smith. Snap right back in, though, by Connor Edwards. And it's found by Hartnett momentarily. Now that's Stanhope who reversed it to the far side. Touch pass will send Benjamin McLean ahead, but he gave it right away to Knopfsinger, who will skate it in and give it right to Cyrus, who will hold on. 7.5 left in period 3. The Jets are up by 1. Starting to see the Crush generating some more chances in the offensive zone here in the third period. Obviously, getting some encouraging messages from their head coach in the dressing room. Boscovich feeds Rebound into the zone. And some major contact there again with Boscovich. And a pile up now on the half wall. Emotions boiling over. Clearly, as that was Dukic who was pushing through the linesman. He's got to be careful there. You don't want to make contact with anyone wearing a black and white striped sweater.
Yeah, and he's gone. I mean, it's got to be a 10 there. And I think Cole Darlis is lucky. He's just going to the box as is. It really wasn't much because thankfully Rebound wears a bubble, but Darlis just did a full swing to his face. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing there.
Almost looks like he was kind of jostling the bubble around, and I don't know if he was trying to pull it off, but again, you got to be careful when you're doing stuff like that. I know you're angry, and you know, is that the right play at this point in the hockey game, being down by 1?
I was telling you about this in between the second and third, Logan, but I feel like that is hopefully the closest we'll get to any sort of fight. We weren't sure if it was going to happen there. We thought something might have been thrown down, but I explained the rule. If you try to fight, as there is a major penalty on the board, we'll get to that in a moment, but if you try to fight past 5 minutes left in third period, you are thrown out for this game and the next. But now that Dukic gets the 10, even if he were to get that 5, which I believe he will be responsible for if that stays on the board, they did just take it off, he'll at least be back for the next game and so on. And yes, it looks like the Crush will have the 5-minute major, the Jets will have the 2-minute, and now this is havoc. By the time that major's over, you're going to have 2:07 left to go, down 1 in this game. Discipline has killed you. It has killed your team. You are a young, talented team, and you've let penalties get the best of you, and I am never one to rant. I am Mr. Positive, but, I mean, I'm sure Phil Bushbosher will agree with me a little bit, whereas this team has lost their disciplinary handles. On a team that is usually pretty disciplined, I can only imagine what happens if you play a 3-game weekend with somebody like the Cougars right now in this type of scenario. You got to fix it somehow.
Yeah, and it looks like 2 of those penalties will be offsetting, so yes. It will be 5-on-4 for the next 5 minutes. Already with 1 power play goal today are the Metro Jets. Huge turning point in this hockey game, could be killing off this 5-minute major penalty. And if the Crush are able to do so, one has to think they'll carry a lot away from that.
Absolutely. It'll be a big swing of momentum, but first you got to kill it off, and then you got to deal with the time you have left, which isn't much. You're almost probably taking more of an aggressive approach on this penalty kill, trying to draw something shorthanded. At least later in the penalty kill.
So it was Dukic who was assessed a 5-minute major for abuse of officials and a DQ penalty, which is an automatic review before he'll be able to play in another hockey game. That's the first thing they teach you in officiating school is the abuse of officials rule, and obviously had to be utilized right there.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just my opinion. I don't think Dukic will get more than a game because as much as he did bring down the linesman, that's not what he was trying to do, right? He was just trying to get to the other guy and kind of brought him down with him. So thankfully everybody's okay from the situation, and I'm not saying it's good at all, but if you're the Crush, you're hoping it's not more than a game.
Absolutely. Anytime you lay a hand on the official, though, it's a dangerous situation.
Yes. I'm glad everybody is all right.
Absolutely. As the Crush clear that one the length of the ice. They've got 3:45 left on this major penalty to kill off. Uzusaina sent it across to Kobayashi, who couldn't knock it down, and again slapped the length of the ice by Jack Martino. Jack Martino, former Orland Park Viking, playing just down the road. Some of his youth career. And ended up playing for the Peoria Mustangs, the NA3HL last year. Decided he wanted to come play hockey for the Chicago Crush.
Yeah, and he actually came mid-season last year. Came out of thin air and was an immediate impact, and that's a big role to whereas he was one of the best players on the elite team last year. Now he's the captain of the premier team, really going to show his offseason improvements and his qualities as a leader.
And he's no slouch on the score sheet either. Second in assists for this Crush hockey team. Really knows how to create opportunities for his team and obviously has been rewarded for it. Pump fake from the referee there. Don't know if you saw that. Behind the play, Fournier took someone out in front of the Cougars bench, and we almost saw another penalty. Fournier is the one with the puck now in his own zone. 2:10 left on this major penalty. Across the ice it goes to Alex Fournier, and it's deflected in by Benavides. Luska leaves it for Gamelin. Rifles it across to Fournier. Now Luska in the middle. The Jets slowing it down, creating a little bit more thought-out opportunities on this power play as they approach the end of it. A cross-ice pass, far side. Dot, and a sharp angle shot is shouldered down by Kuspel. Now it's Luska on the point near side. Bederka walks it in, and that shot is saved by Kuspel down in the butterfly. He was ready for it. 3:20 left to go in period 3. They've got a minute 14 more of power play time. The Jets do anyway.
Rebone and Darlis come out of the box after the offsettings, finally getting that whistle. And I really like the work on the power play from the Jets, spacing it out, taking their time, not making any risky passes to whereas it could be a transition opportunity the other way, because that's the last thing you need right now.
Stanhope, across it goes, and he gets it back now. Far side McLean to Stanhope in the middle. Now it's Boscovich. He turns and shoots it, and it's blockered up and out by Kuspel. And again, we'll see a face-off Crush zone. .302 left. Crush have thwarted off the attack thus far on the power play. They've still got 53 seconds to kill off. Buskovich kind of fan on that pass over to LeBlanc, but it got to him. And now it's Stanhope. Buskovich to LeBlanc, and he couldn't handle the pass, and Tissot tangles up in the near side corner. Boscovich down to LeBlanc. He turns and shoots it from the top of the circles, right in front, hammering away at it. Was Curto, but was unsuccessful. Buskovich, the pass down low, a save is made by Kuspel, and it's scooped out by Crush defense. LeBlanc left it in the middle for Curto, who's looking for his second goal of the hockey game. Finally killing off the penalty. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Less than 2 minutes left to go. You've got to think the Crush have to play with a little bit more urgency here. Finally, they get those other two forecheckers in the zone. Now in his own end is Knopfsinger. Rings it around, but it gets turned over to Kobayashi. Down low it goes to Smith, who battles behind the Crush net. 90 seconds left in regulation. Looking to delay a little bit here are the Jets, and arguing his case is Owen Hartnett out in the slot. During play was given an earful to the referee, who was standing in the far side corner and is still barking away as he makes his way back to the Crush bench.
He literally, CJ Marshall made zero contact with him, kind of gave him the notion, hey, I heard you already, get away from me. I think he's had a long day. Got to feel for him a little bit.
Minute 21 left in period 3. Run around to the near side where Gamlin's there to receive, but could not control for the Jets. It's forced out by Levine. Extra attacker on the ice for the Crush. Levine's got it near side corner. Now on the point is Luz Betek, and that shot, I think, was saved by Cyrus and went way up and actually touched the top of the dome here at Summit Ice Center in Lockport, and that will cause a stoppage of play.
That might be the highest we've seen a puck go so far in this short tenured history of Summit Ice Center. And now Phil Bushbosher, 57.4. Drawing board in his hand, is going to use that timeout. It's kind of nice getting it off the face-off, put some trust in your center, and from then on, it's here's what we do if we win. Draw that up for a good minute, and then you have a slight play just in case you lose it. And at that point, you're practically just sending everybody to the puck at this point. My curiosity, which I'm pretty sure has already been answered, is if Cruzbell is going to start from the bench. I think he will. I think they're going to go 6 attackers.
Yeah, and if you're the Metro Jets, you have to win this face-off.
Yep.
You have to gain possession. You can't give the Crush the puck in their offensive zone with the extra attacker. And I know this is a relatively new development in the game of hockey, but I almost think you got to go for the empty net from your defensive zone, even risking the icing. And that's not how it used to be, but
yeah, especially now that you just got the timeout of the timeout, because it's not like your players are going to be immediately tired. So you're willing to keep your guys out on the ice. Let's see what they do here. I'm excited for this final minute.
Mikey Large moves in for the Crush to take this face-off. He wins it right to Lynn. Large and Lynn play catch on the near side wall. It gets sent down to Brown. 3 Crush players there, and it squirts out to Badurka, who feeds it ahead to Benavides, and it hopped away from him, and he can't put it in the open net. Crush, huge break here. 30 seconds left in this hockey game. Far side is Large. Gets sent across to the near side, Brown. 3 Crush players. Watkins finally pulls it out, and it's sent the length of the ice, and that will be an icing call. 12.3 seconds separate the second win of the weekend for the Metro Jets.
Kind of felt you got those terrifying Stars Oilers odds. I think it was Patrick Stefan, right? Back in the old days. Now you're open for the Jets. You don't allow one.
Wallace won that face-off. A point shot got deflected out in front into the near side corner. 5 seconds left to go. Levine's got it behind. Tries to turn and shoot it, and he can't pull the trigger. The Jets will take the win and the series this weekend here in Lockport. As some extra yelling from Clovis Gamelin after that final horn. Obviously, Luke, emotions running on high.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to say I've been there. It's definitely sour right now for Chicago. You play your heart out and you get kind of yelled at the end. And, for the Jets, good for them. I mean, they deserved it. They were the more disciplined team. They kind of get to let out that victory roar at the end. Fired up after a weekend where they take the series after a very intense rubber match game. And what you thought was iced away, the Crush were not finished. But they end up just short in the end. Nonetheless, I haven't seen many Crush Premier games this season, but this has been the best one I've seen yet, just from an entertainment standpoint. Back and forth, both goaltenders played incredible, Logan. But, I mean, look at the 2 goals. They came on penalty kill.
Absolutely, and disciplined hockey, you said it right from the beginning, is a key to success in all of hockey, but especially this USPHL Premier Division. I have to agree with you, though. Some excellent goaltending on either side. I think if I had to choose my top star of the game, I almost have to pick Brennan Kuspel, who made, I don't even know, countless amounts of grade A stops to keep his team in that hockey game.
Kept him in that game, without a doubt.
And some more words exchanged as the teams exit the ice surface.
That's a great job by the linesman to just get in between the teams, make sure nothing else happens, because sometimes the worst things happen when the game isn't even going on, especially when your locker rooms are right next to each other. I think you'll hear a bit of banging on the walls, but hopefully everything is all safe and clean over here.
Well, the MJDP Metro Jets development program improves to 6-7-1 on the season thus far. The Chicago Crush moved to 3-9. Been an absolute pleasure to call my friend Luke Jordan today here at Summit Ice Center in Lockport. I don't know if you enjoyed the outcome, but hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast. It's been a pleasure. Luke, thank you very much.
Of course, my friend. Glad to be doing business with you. It's a blast getting able to do a broadcast with an official, because obviously it's kind of the one avenue I've never gone down in my hockey career, and it's always fun to hear what you have to say. Glad we're able to spend Sunday together.
Well, hopefully we'll convert you one of these days. But
absolutely.
Thank you all for tuning in, and we will catch you all on the next one.